Greetings, Jasmine.
Warning, the following program contains strong black first opinion about mature and strong subject matter that affects Black America and the diaspora as a whole. Listen at your own risk, you sissy.
Grand Rising All, you are listening to the one and only Be One or None. Good morning from Africatown, Los Angeles.
What it do, y'all? We here. Y'all expect to hear my voice, huh? so we here. I'm about to say my against uncle. Y'all know what it is. It's live from good morning, live from Africatown, LA, and it is 1 p.m. Eastern time. 1:10 p.m. 1:10 p.m. Eastern time my way. I like I'm a Ricky or something at this, but how y'all doing? We here. We got the team. We got Queen Tina Berry Speaks and Queen Kathy B waiting for others to come in. I think Pablo just said, "Oh, we on?" He getting mixed up in time. So y'all good? Y'all good? Can y'all hear me? Let me see if we get the chat.
Yep.
Okay, we got Divine Goddess. What's up? What's up, Divine Goddess? First person up in here. Make sure y'all share, like, all that good stuff. We've been gone for a couple of days, but we here. We talking about we ain't gonna hold it out too long, y'all. We talking about the first we'll talk about Kamala Harris. Pretty much she's now I just did a live on TikTok. One of the guy from California said she was planning on running for governor, but she decided not to. But the thing is, why she don't want to run for governor of California, because she knows she will not win, just like she lost in the presidential election. I mean, think about it. She got over $1.2 billion in funds, and billions. And you still lost, and Trump only had 436 million. He didn't even use the whole 436 million, but there's no way. But one of the guys in Cali said he thinks she would win, but a lot of people I talked to in Cali said no, that she wouldn't win. She don't have the support like that. So y'all think that's the end of her? She run for president in 2028? What say you?
I say she just needs to go do what she's gonna do, and just stop running because nobody likes her.
Yeah, I think it's over. I think she's hurt, just like Obama. They both hurting the party now, and you know if y'all looked at the on the news, they say the Democrats approval rating has went down real low. Like they don't even have a high approval rating anymore. So that means even some of the baby boomers are walking away from them. And it's about that time. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I
agree.
Yeah, she wasn't the answer. Remember, Obama didn't want her to run, but they really didn't have no other choice. You know, when Biden stepped down. So now she's trying to. I think that's it for her. I don't think she says she's gonna take a break for a while because there's so much chaos in politics right now. You part of the chaos. You created some of the chaos. So yeah. So I think, and plus, some stuff might come up later on. Trump done been digging and digging. So she probably like, let me just walk away for a minute because I don't want to, my name popping up and I gotta explain myself. So yeah, that's how I look at it. So yeah, I think that you probably gonna hear about her for a while. Now I am saying they trying to prop Jasmine Crockett up. They trying to make her Kamala Harris 2.0. I don't see it. Do y'all think she got a chance of? Matter of fact, she's trying to win her seat back in Texas. Do you think she will win her seat back in Texas, or you think they're gonna try to get her to run for 2028? She is young and she's a lawyer. What say you?
You talking about Jasmine?
Yeah, we talking about Jasmine because they trying to.
They've been talking about her. They aligned her district. Let me put Lenny here. They realigned her district, and
Hey, people.
her seat
Peace,
is
peace.
up.
Yeah, exactly. She's trying to run. She's trying to get that support, and she's doing the same thing she's been doing. She's still talking about that using them old Democrat talking points, talking about the immigrants and we all won the trend and the LGBTQ. And that's a problem. That will hurt the Democratic Party. Even with her being younger, she should know better. If she listens to FDA, she listens to Black Americans, she should know that we don't care about that. That don't move us. It ain't no solidarity with it's no black and brown coalition. All that's dead. She's still trying to push that. That's the problem. You know what I'm saying? What y'all think about that?
I don't have any opinion basically because I don't really follow her like that. I mean, I've seen clips of her. That's about it.
Yeah, they got her on Facebook a lot, man. Let me see. Can I pull this? Did I get this? I think I got it on. This is her, one of
I
her.
was about to say the same thing. I don't watch her enough to know what she up to.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I know she got a mouth on her.
yeah, she got a no mouth on her little short self. Let me see. Hold on, hold on. Did I see it? It may have said I thought I had. I thought I had the video. It might be a mother phone, but yeah, they had her talking. You know, she was at some rally and they trying to build up her base, and she's saying the same thing that they always say, and it's like, I mean, you need to start saying something a little different because that's not working anymore. Here we go. Check this out, y'all. Here we go. Let me turn. Here we go.
Yeah, I'm glad you got it.
Well, where's it? Hold on. Okay.
Out of Texas told Abbott what he was going to do, and like a small, ridiculous child who just fell in order, I don't think any of that was an accident. But what I can tell you is that we will not be an accident. We, the people of Texas, will be very intentional about making sure that they hear us, about making sure that we call them out for what they're doing. This is racist, what they are doing. Let me hear you. That is coming up with policies that will help all people, no matter what their ethnic background. They have decided, never mind, we want to dilute the voices of black and brown. Well, I got news for you. In this state, the majority is black, brown, and Asian. We will not sit idly by while a wannabe dictator decides that he's going to silence us.
Man, let me tell you something. They say, you know what? And I just got on my TikTok live, and Kingdom he's from Cali, he's in politics heavy out there. He said, man, one thing about my party, he said they don't have a real message. They don't have no spine. They saying the same thing, and it's getting old, and nobody don't want to hear it anymore. She's still talking about the black and brown, and she talking about the damn Asians. I'm like, boy, and then you got them rainbow flags in the background. I'm like, lady, sit your ass down. You cute, you pretty. I give you that. That's all you got. I mean, you an educated sister. Man, it's a male sister though. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. The brothers, we like her, but she on that BS. The thing is, what's up, DJ Black? The thing is with Jasmine Crockett, if you go back and look at her back in, let me see, about 5 years ago, look at how she was talking. Totally different. This sister, she was raised in, like, she went to private school all her life. She come from a prominent black family. You know what I'm saying? She didn't come from the hood and stuff. So I'm not saying that she don't understand black people, but my thing is all that swinging your head and talking that slang and cursing and stuff, that's not you. That's what the Democrats want you to be. And you doing the same thing like Kamala and the rest of them doing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like her message. That's why she didn't get that seat. She lost that seat in Congress. She's like a speaker, like a top speaker. She lost that. She came in last place, man. So imagine her running her seat out there in Texas. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying she won't get it, but it's just you run off that, and it's like it's the same thing. Like, do y'all agree? Like they're using the same talking points. You ain't speaking.
The Democrats is never going to do anything different because they running off of this slave mentality, just like a lot of people. And we are past the slave days. We're past the civil rights era. We need human rights, and we need new black leaders who are getting in office, not being in office to shuck and jive and be Sambos and kiss massa behind so that half of them could be saved. But we need black people who really represent black people. And it's getting old. This is why the Democratic Party is crumbling, when they were undercover KKK members anyway, who tricked us to being good house slaves instead of getting liberation. This is why they got rid of all our real black leaders, so that we can follow you know, shadow puppets like Jasmine Crockett and the rest of the Democrats. And they don't see it because they want to keep their comfortable places in life while we keep struggling, because they are also making fame and money and fortune off of struggling black people.
Exactly, I agree with you. You got this, you got this clown. Hold on, and you got this clown right here talking too.
Somehow or another, they can't find the Epstein list, and they know that Trump is right on it. But I'm going to pause right here because I want to know what white evangelical pastors are going to preach this morning against a president who is accused of sleeping with 3 14-year-olds. Not hold him accountable, but they claim that there's God's man. Y'all better hurt the bull. He's gonna bomb Iran, and then y'all.
I can't hear no more of him. Look, he's a joke too. Same guy talking about sleeping with women. He cheated on his wife, and he was in Baltimore. That's why he in Atlanta preaching all that bullshit. Excuse my language, but yeah. I mean, he's a joke too. They trying to use him. These black preachers, their time is over too. What's up, Pablo? Their time is over too, man. Nobody ain't hearing that no more. The Democrats are dead. That's why you get the
definitely D-Mays, the black preachers, and then voting for somebody because they're black. Those days are over too. It may not be for the older generation, but it's done for the newer generation.
Oh yeah, I tell people when the baby boomers are gone, it's over. What's up, Pablo? You got it.
I had to come in right on time. Man. It is a spectacle to behold. Ladies and gentlemen, what we're looking at is a desperate Democrat Party, a desperate massa. That plantation is in deep, deep trouble. And why are they in deep trouble? It's beyond the talking points of Reek, and if you know who that is, you know what I'm talking about. Mr. Museum is beyond his talking points. This thing has reached a critical point to where even people who have been devout, generationally devout to the Democrat plantation have questions, and they see the truth. It's to the point where it's no longer able to be shoved in the closet. You can't put a blanket on top of it. You can't trot out the latest celebrity, the Cardi B's, all these people. You can't trot out the sassed up black female Democrats to put a gloss over this. Obama himself cannot gloss this over anymore. The jig is up, and we're starting to see clearly that this plantation that has been behind the most self-destructive forces that we as a people in America have experienced since the literal plantation. I mean, it's still a plantation, but since the literal plantation, that dream of getting into the big house with massa is definitely not all it's cracked up to be, and we all see this, especially the younger people. Now, you still have a couple of old ninjas holding on to that civil rights era tradition, but for the most part, it's pretty much a wrap. And the question I think we ask ourselves now is, where do we go from here? Because it's obvious that running to the Republican massa, to that plantation, is not necessarily the answer. I know some of us have seen that as the answer, but that's not necessarily the correct thing to do, because what we see time and time again is black people who have done that. What do? They go over there and try to run the same plantation nil to massa games in the other party. And you know, it's more, I mean, I don't know why. Maybe because we're so used to it. I'll ask y'all, when you get to the conservative right Republican plantation, why does the cooning over there stand out more blatant than the Democrat cooning? And the same thing going on in the Democrat plantation. Is it because we're so used to seeing it by now? Or is it just me?
Oh yeah, we used to seeing it. Yeah. Man, we don't have I can't even explain it no more, man. You try to talk to some of these people, man. It's just like everybody like who they like. But when it comes to the Democrats, it's black people. Like I said, you got the baby boomers still around, them old fossils. But once, like I said, once they go, you're gonna see a shift. I'm talking to the youth, man. They don't give a damn. They care. They care less about even on a local level, which they should care about on a local level. They looking like, man, look, y'all been saying the same thing over 60 years. We ain't seen no change. We all about just getting our money, doing our thing, and keep it moving. They don't care about all that. I'm for real. Even want to talk to my kids. They like, yeah, dad, me and my friends, we don't care about all that stuff. We just trying to, get ourselves together.
Because they don't see no hope in it. They don't see any hope in it. There's no changes. I mean, it seems like we're free, and it seems like we can get good jobs and all this. I mean, you had slaves that benefited better than the field slaves. We not showing the generation any changes. Actually, the black generation is getting worse. Our kids have turned to, look at, nobody cares about marriage in our younger generation. Nobody cares about unaliving themselves. They still have half of us locked in what they call the projects, and then a lot of black people are going to school, but a lot of them are not getting the jobs. I mean, the police are unaliving them. So what hope do they see in either party? And they have locked us in a box to think those are our only fighting tools. Either join the Democrat Party, go to church and pray, or protest. Those are all the tools they gave us to our humanity, and it's not working. Our kids are just like, hey, I'm just gonna do whatever I do in this life and let it be what it is.
Exactly.
That's where have y'all noticed this part of the equation to where let's look at the black church since Pastor Jamal Brown just went off, because he just went off. Now we all remember what the black church used to be, with how it used to be the cornerstone of the black community. And for those of you who know your roots as far as the Black Power movement, we know that this movement was birthed literally in the black church. How did we get from that to today, to where the black church is basically a highly paid and financed black religious branch of the Democrat Party, basically at this point? It is like
They
today.
started paying off leaders and unaliving the real leaders. That's why they got rid of Martin Luther King. That's why they got rid of Malcolm X. That's why they got rid of the Black Panthers, because they left the parties where they only got the preachers who won't preach the truth. When the preachers saw all this, and back in the days, they were scared to die. So they preach Jesus and salvation, but they're scared to die. And so that's been passed on. And then preachers have been taking those little money handouts, and they're trying to be the more famous preacher, where the Democrats come and to their churches. And so now they basically been taking the Democrats' money, taking the guns out the hands of the real leaders, and they unalive the leaders. So now you don't really have anybody to lead our people. Nobody wants to take up the mantle of Malcolm X. Nobody would really wanted to take up the mantle of the Black Panthers, only to a certain extent, because Black Panthers wasn't playing. They got
I
us
mean,
all confused.
yeah, because it's like this is the reason why Massa keeps such a tight grip on our history, on our story, because let's take Martin Luther King, who the mistaken Martin Luther King, the Boule Martin Luther King. He's basically the prototype. He's the prototype, the predecessor of the Jamal Bryant. That's what Jamal Bryant is right now, is what they wanted Martin Luther King to ultimately be, and that's why he had to be snuffed out when they saw that he was going the Malcolm X direction. Because if you know your history, you know that Martin Luther King used to be strapped. He used to carry the piece, and who talked him out of it? A Juby Dooby Doo.
You sure did. All facts.
They depended on their rifle, and they
Hey,
first
Queen,
and pray to Jesus later.
you breaking up a little bit. It's a little choppy.
Yeah, you're in the Matrix. And now a Juby Dooby Doo talked King out of doing it, and he was basically coaxed and coached into what he became. But then when he woke up and said, you know what? Wait a minute, I made a grave error. I've taken my people into a burning house. That the second he said that, didn't matter what he said it afterward. His fate was sealed the second he said that, because they said, okay, this Negro's not going to get in line like we want him to. He's turning into a Nat Turner. He's going back to that Nat Turner spirit. And because if you strip it all away, if you take that Bible, which is what King stood on, the same book Turner stood on, Nat Turner was willing to die for it when he actually read the book for himself and saw that book was telling you to take up arms and stand against the oppressor. And he said, wait a minute now, they're saying what they're telling us. This book is saying something different from what they're teaching us and telling us and forcing on us. And obviously King had to come to that same conclusion, because remember, King, they tried to force that racist Mahatma Gandhi's beliefs on King, and he was following it for a certain extent, probably more than he was the Bible. Then one day he had that epiphany: I'll take my people into a burning house. And I think that's where we are now. We are at this point, especially the younger generation, they're going, we've tried to do this peacefully. We tried to follow the rules of our grandfathers, grandmothers, our fathers, arguably. We tried to follow all these traditions, and this stuff is getting us nowhere but in dead last and everything that matters. I mean, you got countless young Black adults who have gone even to the HBCU, gone through the rigmarole, got those degrees, and they said, you know what? I done paid all this money, got myself in debt with this loan, and here am I, can't get a job, and I'm highly trained to advance the causes of white supremacy and work against my own people if I want to get a position. And at this point, a lot of them just are not willing to do it no more.
Yeah, bro, you are right. You facts on it's right. You're right about that. Let's lead up to going to the FBA, the rise of FBA. You're right, man. I mean, shoot, that's a conversation by itself. So Pablo, since you already in Cali with the, where they kind of really push heavy at FBA, what is the movement? How is it out there in Cali right now? Like, is people really, is brothers and sisters out there really embracing the FBA philosophy for the Linux base? Yes.
Well, here particular, it's sort of a mixture, because like California, whether it's Oakland with the original Panthers or down here with the Black culture down here, we have like these hot spots where, like, historical spots, I'll call them. Like, many people don't know that where LAX sits right now used to be, they used to call it the Black Harlem of the West, or the West Coast. And they did the, what they do, they took the land from the people, took the houses, knocked it down in the 40s and built LAX, what we know today. So out here, the resistance is still a mixture of Pan-Africanism and FBA. The thing is, see, out here, this is what happened out here. Of course, we know Reek, who he opened up his museum and all that. I hear a weird sound. Is that just me? Sound like somebody eating popcorn.
No, some clicking.
Yeah, some clicking. Yeah, so out here, it's a mixture of Pan-Africanism and what we would call FBAism. The difference is Reek, he started this campaign of basically trying to have a civil war between FBA and Pan-Africans and every other group. It was like basically FBA versus everybody. And since it seems like his influence has dwindled to, I don't really hear much, it's not too much traction going his way, even though the FBA thing is still sticking. Ultimately, what I think is going to be, it's going to lean toward everybody going back to the name Freedman is what it looks like to me personally. But a lot of people, even like the Africans here, the ones who are not Kunin, they understand the principle, because in African culture, you basically are not taken serious unless you have the ability to self-govern. So a real African, like an Ibrahim Traore type, they respect what FBA is doing. They'll respect it because they go, okay, y'all doing what y'all do to establish yourselves. Now, a coon on either side of the ocean ain't going to respect that. But real revolutionaries, which is why they don't want us networking and talking with each other, we respect each other's get down like that. When I see real revolutionaries in the UK doing what they're doing, and a lot of them are Garveyites, when I see them standing up and pressing what they press for, I just gotta respect it, because I know they're doing what they're doing under the system they're in, and they're trying to get their independence there. So when you have people that incite things unnecessarily, like what Reek was doing, when people start to see it for what it is, and you realize that we have no friends, literally, then you start to question that. You start to reevaluate. So a lot of people are like, I'm with this thing, but I'm not with a lot of the stuff that's going on with it. Like a lot of us who were in, myself included, I was a member of ADOS, and of course I had got into it with both Tone and Yvette, and that's how we broke off into another group. But before that happened, We all remember the ADOS FBA war that happened on Twitter of all places, now known as X. And that right there, when that happened, for me personally, I saw the cracks in this thing, and I said, okay, I see where this can go and what it can be used for, but I also see that certain elements have to be removed before we can go forward. And I think that with the right leadership and possibly a rebranding, I mean, because I know he's copywritten the flag from what I hear, and maybe the name itself. It may have to just be rebranded, but I think that spirit of us saying enough's enough, we need to identify as our own and be our own. And it's okay if that's not connected to Africa. It's okay if we ain't doing all the things that we normally would do. It's okay if we want to branch out and do our own thing, but we don't need to make unnecessary enemies in the process. Is where I think everybody's at.
Yeah, and I'm with that. And my thing is, like I said, I got no problem with us embracing our lineage. We should have been did that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because a lot of us haven't been to Africa, don't know anything about Africa. But the thing is, I got no beef with my brothers and sisters in the diaspora. Like I say, like what Teray and them doing over there, Africa, we all respect it. But Julius Mahame and all them guys doing, we respect that because they actually trying to take back their country. You know what I'm saying? And like we should be doing here in America. Black people should be establishing themselves here. And don't be throwing the names out, talking about the hairlines and calling people booty scratchers and all that. That's crazy. That's childish, man. Like we up here making thumbnails of black people ashy feet, Africans with ashy feet. That's petty, man. I know Reek do his thing like that, but to me that's childish. Dude, you're 50 years old. Come on. Let's be real. People don't take us serious, bro. Like we can't be honest with you, we don't even have time to joke as a people, man. We really don't. We need to get serious because black, like I said, and I say it again, what resources black people own in America? We talk FBA, and I'm FBA. My family from Georgia, but the thing is, what resources you own? You don't control you have no kind of political power. You talk about the money, our spending power, yeah, but we give it to somebody else. We're not putting. We practice individualism. It's no kind of code of conduct. Dr. Clark Anderson been telling us this forever, and he had Dr. Clark Anderson on his documentary. They know what it is. Okay, you got what code? He said we got a code of what? Everybody get up on YouTube. You know what I'm saying?
Does having a Twitter account count as a code of ethics? It's like, have any of you noticed this to where whether we used FBA or we use Freeman, whatever the case may be, it's like a vicious cycle where we self-assassinate our leaders. Like even now, if you bring up the name Harriet Tubman or you bring up Rosa Parks, it's all kind of stories that we put out there to detract from what they were and what they did. Oh, that wasn't a real story. Oh, this is that. We can never just stand firm and agree and move forward. There's always got to be something like I said, that ADOS. We probably would have reparations right now if Tariq would have never started that ADOS versus FBA war all over ego and pride.
I agree with that because they were doing it the political way. That's one thing I got to say about them. They were going the political way. Like we should. I would say that because you got to go through politics, bro. You got to go through these politicians.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah,
you got to do it through the channels.
Yeah,
I mean, because when you look at how it was when I first came into it, and it was like, okay, Yvette and Tone were not popular on the internet. Let's just be real about it. Thanks. Versus Tariq, he knows how to work it. He knows how to handle his business when it comes to content and media and things like that. So when it was basically, all right, let us handle this political side, and then you bring in the fame to the name to what you do in the entertainment world, and those two forces working together, it seemed like an unstoppable train. And the second that war happened, everything went off the rails. And we gotta be honest, it has not had the same momentum or power since that. And you gotta ask the question, why? Was someone paid purposely to do that? Was that on purpose?
So let me ask you a question. Do they still even do Tone Talk even exist still? Do Yvette Carnell, is she still speaking? I mean, I ain't heard nothing about
Yeah, they do because they do. It's just like they've fallen so far off the grid to entertainment wise. Like you won't hear of them doing or saying anything unless you personally know them. So I recently heard an Yvette episode. I don't remember if she was going in on Dr. Umar or on Tariq again or something like that. It was one of the two. And it was like they really haven't changed much in their talking points. And it's like it's come to the forefront that all of them, that's one thing Tariq was right about. All of them are Democrat shills. They talk that talk, but deep down in their hearts, they're not going to go against that party. And we all know that that's literally what it's going to take for us to move forward in progress, whether it's reparations or just having our independence as a group, whether we want to be FBA or Freedmen, whatever. We are not going to get to that until we break off of that plantation. And you have to get to the point to where you have to realize we are in what's called political insolvency. There's a reason why all these immigrants come over here and use our backs as a stepping stone, because that's the liberal leftist pantheon. That's what they order. I mean, I'll say it time and time again. When you are amongst your liberal leftist Democrat circles, start talking about being B1. Start talking about being black and independent. Start talking about a black coalition instead of a black and rainbow coalition, and watch how fast they turn on you. The worst thing in the world you can do in these circles is talk about loving your own people. Now it's okay when you see Pedro flashing the Mexican flag and playing the mariachi and supporting his people. It's okay when you see Ho Sung Lee doing her thing. It's okay when you see the Doobie Doobie Doos doing it. But the second somebody black identifies as black and is proud of it, it's a big problem in these leftist Democrat circles. And that right there, if that's not a red flag for you, then I don't know what to tell you.
Boy, you're right, 100% correct on that, bro.
Can y'all hear me now?
We
Can y'all
can
hear
hear
me?
you. Yeah, you good.
Yeah, you're solid now.
Okay, I don't know what was going on.
Yeah, that's cool.
Nasa was like, get her quiet now.
Pablo cooking. This Pablo show today, boy. He cooking. But yeah, you right, man. I mean, we're gonna have the FBA, like, when they beef with ADOS, like you said, ADOS was doing it the right way for us, trying to get reparations because they want the political channel, which we got to. Tariq them ain't doing that. And I get in his comments, and I'm like, hey man, I hear. I mean, I'm all about the lineage and everything. I said, but at the end of the day, what's the blueprint? What's the game plan? Really getting reparations? Because hashtagging it, getting on Twitter, getting on YouTube, talking about it. I keep saying we're gonna get it, but what's the game plan? You don't have no politicians on the payroll. You had Marcel, which I really don't back him because he need real money.
This man, and what's her name? That's where you are. What was her name?
Sheely, Tamara Sheely.
Yeah, Sheely. Now combined, her and Marcel got under 8,000 votes. She got like 23, meaning 2,300 something. He got about 5,600 or something, from what I remember. Under 8,000 combined. That tells you a lot right there. That tells you, and I said this back when I was a member of ADOS, and I said, now all this push that he got pushed from Jason Black himself. All this push, and YouTube, don't y'all come for me, babies, because I'm saying a couple of names. We just being honest and talking the truth about the timeline.
Allegedly. Yeah.
I said, now if he got all this push from Reek, from Jason and all this, and he only got under 6,000 votes, that tells you something majorly wrong with this. That tells you, one, a lot of people that are saying they pushing hard for this thing, do a lot of talk in the comments online and all that, but when it comes to going into that booth, they stick with tradition.
Yep.
Two, it tells you that our money is not where our mouth is, because we're not willing to break away from that plantation and literally do what we say we're going to do. Because one thing that was shown about Yvette and Tone is they were doing that hard talk, but then when Tariq brought that war on them, it exposed them for the fact that they were doing talking, but they was not really physically ready. They physically were not going to go step out from that plantation. They were going to stay there and just take the L and hold it.
Facts. And that's what I was saying, bro. Black people. That's what I was saying, though, Pablo. A lot of black people get on YouTube and Twitter.
He's coming back.
Tina, your mic off.
No, I'm here. My bad.
So what I'm saying is, a lot of people get on social media, especially YouTube, for entertainment purposes. Ask most of the people that follow Tariq them, that or Jason Black and them, that what are they doing in the community? They're not doing nothing. They're just sitting there wave Sunday nights and whatever days they come on, and and get in the comments and call people tellers and all that stuff. But I'm like, that's cool, make people laugh and stuff. But at the end of the day, what are you doing? What is the game plan? You know what I'm saying? Because everybody, look, even though everybody know that black people ain't they more black people really ain't serious about reparations. They don't, because like you said, they don't have a
Yeah,
game.
we're not serious.
No,
We're not serious.
we didn't even got no politicians. We ain't put no money behind no candidates. Like you said, to Mary Shealy and Marcel Dixon got away on the 8,000. Oh, that's crazy, bro. And like you said, and they had, you right, Jason Black and Tariq had them on the platform and pushing them, and they still didn't. Come on, bro. Everybody supposed to be involved for them.
I mean, Marcel Dixon couldn't beat Jim Bojangles Clyburn. Come on now. I mean, you don't get no more cooning than Jim Bojangles now. Come on now.
You get it twisted. Jim Clyburn got that war chest from the Democrats, but still, if black people, if all these black people claiming FBA and Lord and all by their lineage, they should be like, okay, of course you're not gonna beat Democrat war chest, but the thing is showing up, put money behind the candidate. Even Marcel Dixon said he needed like what he said. Oh man, that's why he dropped out. I think he went around for Congress. He needed like just for something like $500,000 just to.
Yeah, you got to have some money to compete. Yeah. And see, now this is the part where when I was talking, what we were just talking about, calling people tethers and ashy and all these jokes and stuff. See, this is the reality. Now we know the reality is Massa's not stupid. He's not going to let a revolutionary come from any African country, any Afro-Caribbean or any Afro-Latino country and come over here and get with the revolutionaries here. He's not going to allow that to happen. So you find ways around that. So if we were serious about reparations, this is the game plan we should be following right here. Organize ourselves, get rid of our coons, do it. We ain't got to do the full-on Haitian revolution physically, but in presence, we can do the Haitian revolution. Hey, brother, you cooning, we can't message you right now. We got to break away. And you want to be a Democrat or Republican, then you do you, and we do us. You got to have that necessary separation. And then from there, what we should be doing is pulling our resources together and then getting in contact with all these people that Reek is disparaging and insulting online, the revolutionaries in those countries, because almost the whole country is backing.
I'm gonna have to interrupt that because you got to listen to Tariq Nasheed and not trying to be funny.
I listen to him. I'm saying is this
but most of those people that come over here, and that's why a lot of people are boycotting. It's just like I said before, all skin folk and kinfolk. We cannot keep taking up for Africans and Jamaicans and Haitians. I work with them. I've seen them, and a lot of them come over here insult us, and we keep putting Africa on top. The Africans, the majority of them are not coming over here doing anything to help us. They get on there, and when I heard a lot of stuff that Tariq Nasheed says, a lot of that stuff is a response to the things that they say about us and the ways that they look at us and how they view us.
And
so we have to call
keyword is come over here. So like I said, Massa's not going to let revolutionaries across the globe get in contact with you. He's not going to let nobody revolutionary come over here. So nobody coming over here, and most of the people that are online, because most revolutionary people are not on these platforms. So he's not going to let people link that are on the same wavelength. And I'll say that because of this. So if you look behind all the stuff that they put in front of us on social media and all the back and forth, the United States government has exempted itself from any jurisdiction of the criminal court in The Hague. They've exempted themselves from it. They don't participate in it. So they've considered themselves above international law. So what that says is, if revolutionaries across the globe were to get together, we would have more than enough evidence to bring Great Britain, the US, France, all these different countries to the criminal court for prosecution. And that's something that they will not have happen. And so while that stuff is going on the surface, there's real revolutionaries on the ground. And even the fact here, we can't even unify the real revolutionaries here on the ground because we got a major force against us. And so it's going to take a matter of separation. We got to separate the coon from the real ones. No matter how we slice it, we got to separate the coon from the real ones, because none of that stuff is getting us anywhere. So, because it's like this: if what Reek was doing was totally the way to go, then we would have reparations right now. So obviously, it's not the ultimate solution. It's just a piece on the puzzle that they're leveraging.
Well, the thing about, I'm not taking up for Tariq, but the thing about it is like this, and we have to be honest. We cannot keep trying to take care of Africa, Jamaica, Haitians. We can't keep crying for all these other countries and our own backyard is on fire. With Tariq, like I tell people, separate Tariq from the FBA, what it means, lineage. Mean that connects my grandmother, my great grandmother, my great aunts were alive. They talking about how they pick cotton. My great great grandmother, the slave master made her walk the fields till her
Uh-huh.
brain was fried in the sun when she put up when she stood up to him. So what it is that we have our country, they have theirs, and everybody has their rightful places. Yes, we can come together, but we're never going to get reparations because we don't have a nation, we don't have a
Oh yeah.
country. And Africans are coming trying to lead the reparations movement, and it's not right because they not even coming over here helping us. And everybody is connected to Africa, but the FBA lineage means that what it is. My grandparents, your grandparents, everybody that's actually from America built the foundation of America. We can't. I don't know nothing about Africa. I can't go over there and start claiming stake into something that an African built just because they say we are all from Africa. The thing about it is that FBAs and I say the foundational Americans who built the foundation for Africans, Jamaicans, and Haitians to come over here freely still needs to be represented first. So if we don't
Oh
get
yeah.
our house together first and give us something, I think what I'm not knocking how Tariq Nasheed does it, but the idea of lineage was a great one
Oh
because
yeah.
whether you know what our lineage is.
Yeah, yeah. Because being the fact that he and Yvette and Tone lineage was the original thing they were pressing.
Can
Yeah,
y'all
yeah,
hear me?
yeah. You dropped out. Yeah,
Yes,
because
Okay,
being
ma'am.
the
but
fact
you
that
have a lot of
Tariq
people
and
that's
Tone,
coming.
Go ahead.
yeah,
Me.
dropped out
You
again.
have a lot of, I'm sorry, I'm on break. You have a lot of people over here knocking us, trying to come up with sticking together
Uh,
with a group, not a group, but a lineage, meaning we built the foundation, and it's simple. So if we're gonna link up with other people from Africa, Jamaica, and all over the world, they're gonna have to respect what we built over here. You
oh,
cannot come
undoubtedly.
over here and leave your country and then come over here and gather the benefits of our country, and then you don't put into nothing to help our children. We keep saying feed the children, do this, do that. What about us? What about us in here? We work
Uh,
every day and we don't get our brothers. They not coming from Africa over here to build with us. The
nope.
majority are coming over here trying to get money and go back to their own countries and stuff, and or
Quick,
or
quick,
to
quick
build
question
a
on that
life.
point. Quick question on that point. Not to interrupt, but quick question on that point.
Mhm.
What, what is the catalyst? What is the machine that these Africans are using to come over here to do this?
What you mean the catalyst?
Like, what is the mechanism that they're using? Not and not just them. I mean, and the Latinos, all the other groups. What is the mechanism that they're
A
using?
lot of them came over here off of that immigration with Biden and all that stuff. And a lot of them, like when I was going to work, I was going to bring them over here because I was thinking the same way. When they come over here, they come over here with visas. They come
Oh yeah.
over here with a lot of stuff. But my whole point is all of them are coming over here to make money off of the freedom. But then and I'm not saying all of them, but I have never seen an African come build anything in the hood.
Oh yeah, and of course,
And
see that's why I was asking that question because of course they're not because of what they're coming for and the mechanism they're using. So, when you like looking at the playbook, like I was saying, international law is a real big piece of this and why this is going on, and also our blind loyalty to this Democrat Party is what enables all this. Because when they co-opted the Rainbow Coalition and made it into what we know today, what that basically says is all you other groups come on over and use the backs of these foundational Black Americans or freedmen, whatever name you use their backs to advance your group, and we're going to incentivize you to do it. So when we look at our political practices, by us continually after generation going in, voting for them to do this to us, we have given them our consent and shot ourselves in the foot to that point to where at this point, the only way we are going to get respect is stepping off that Democrat plantation because that's the mechanism all these different. I mean, look at what the rainbow movement just did. They just used our backs to make a perverse sexual practice and preference into an actual ethnic group off of our back, off our blood, sweat, and tears. And we sat by, let Obama smile and talk us into it. And it's
Yes.
like we literally sacrifice ourselves for all these other groups that they bring over, because there's a military tactic called flooding the zone. So what they do is they incentivize all, I mean, an honest Korean or Chinese businessman will tell you, yes, this is exactly what they're doing, and this is why we're doing what we're doing. They'll tell you flooding the zone means you go in, you redline the area, you mark out what's called the ghetto or the black area, and then when capitalism kicks in and it's time to get your ROI off that area, you flood the zone. And then you push the black people out. And then you bring in all these people to siphon our money out of our communities, and to the point they no longer need us.
Exactly.
That's why Claude Anderson
Look at
said,
what's going on in Minnesota. All those
oh, yeah,
Somalians. Where's Somalia at? All those
yeah, way
Somalians are in
across the
there.
world. So what incentivized them to come from way over there
And they,
to
but the
over
thing
here
is,
to push us out?
they look like black people, right? They look like
Yep.
black, and I was gonna do, we were gonna do a show about it, but they have $1 billion scam that's been going on, opening up autism centers, talking about feed the children, etc., etc. And them and Tim Waltz and all of them has been connected with the scam that's been going on. They've scammed the government. They said it's probably close to $1 billion. And these are the people that walk around looking black just like us. And
Oh,
they've
yeah.
scammed it, but nobody is going to jail. And so
They're
we like you
protected.
said, they look at they play on the poverty, they play on our kids, they play on the black areas. Look at California. California is now a predominantly Latino and Asian area. We're the black
And
people.
we voted ourselves into, this is the crazy part. Like, we all remember that LA City Council scandal where basically the Mexicans, I'll just say it, the Mexican politicians in concert with the black ones in there were talking about plans to put Mexicans in power as the middleman, as the overseer underneath the white man, of course, and to put and use our labor and push us out of the way. And they literally have done it. And even though those people have resigned and got reputations tarnished, they still did it, because one of the people that was involved in that was Ron Herrera, and he's the president of the LA County Labor Board. And that's one of the biggest counties in this country. Now, the president of the LA County Labor Board is still working. That means that plan that they were talking about in those council meetings is still going forward. So that means is we are still the sacrificial lamb for all these other groups. And why? Because we keep voting for the same people that look just like us to go in there and screw us over and sell us out to these people. And this is the big log jam to where we can't get forward. So it's like,
Not
I
just
understand
voting.
why Reek is
We
doing what he's
won't come
doing and why he
together
said
as
some
a
of it.
separate group. It's not just voting. That's why I said what Tyreek Nasheed said, as in FBAs is claiming who we are, that we were here, claiming this is ours, claiming this and that, and getting respect from everybody else, because nobody should be bold enough to come over here. Everybody knows the game. The only reason they're coming over here doing what they're doing and not respecting us and still voting Democrat, because a lot of these people, we know that the Biden game was to bring in immigrants so that they can get the vote.
Yeah.
It's because they know that we're not sticking together as a people first.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I said it real quick. Y'all clicking. Somebody said same thing. They scam my wife out of money, talking about they help the kids in Africa. She sent money every month, and and he's a grown ass man. Yeah, we know about the Nigerian scammers. I see Papa up. Anyway, yeah, I'm with you, Tina. We both. I mean, me and Papa, we all agree. We gotta embrace our lineage here. My thing is, when it comes to the reparation part, we got to go through the political process, because I don't want to hear reparations that we don't got a blueprint. I don't see it. I mean, me and Pablo just said, I tell other people, you got to have a blueprint. I know somebody said something. Who was it? Who was it? Who was that? Somebody said in the comments, Divine God said Black Afro Network on YouTube has been putting in work advocating for us to get reparations. Yeah, but do we have a blueprint, Divine God? I'm talking about, like, what is a blueprint? What politicians we got on our side? Are we putting money? Are we doing a super PAC? Put money behind it? That's the only way it's gonna work. If you ain't putting no money behind it, they're just gonna laugh at us like, yeah, we hear them talking, but they know they can't get it. They don't have no structure, no kind of organization. APAC and all them people like that, the Jews got and other groups got, we got to build the same thing when it comes to reparation. As far as with the FBA lineage, I'm all down for that because we should embrace our lineage just like everybody else embrace their cultures and stuff. Shout out to Torre and Jews Mahim over in Africa with they doing what they supposed to do over there. You know what I'm saying? They supposed to be taking their country back. Same as Black Americans, we should be, you know, like say, embracing our culture. Don't let other people come in and try to, you know, infiltrate our culture and stuff. We respect everybody, other Black cultures, Jamaicans, Africans, West Indies. You know what I'm saying? We all have carnival. We let y'all do that. Respect that. So do the same thing for FBA. I'll let my plan on that.
Just like they took over the Essence Festival. They're
That
coming
was
over
yeah.
here,
We shot
buying
that down.
businesses, doing stuff, not to help us, but to use us like the Democrats.
Yeah, we had
So
we had
it's gonna take. That's what I was saying. It's not. It's gonna take more than votes. It's gonna take us, and that's what the UEOA is for. It's gonna
a
take us separating and standing on something.
now. Let me ask you a question. And I know the UA. We always talk about this. We talk about it in a minute, but as far as like sitting down with the brothers and sisters in the diaspora who want to sit down and work with us, I mean, of course, we all respect each other cultures, but we work together, or we still on that level far as like they want to, you know, like we push for reparation. They should be our ally. Like, okay, yeah, y'all should get,
Exactly.
okay, we on
They
that
should
level.
be our allies. See, FBA, they can't be a FBA. We can be in the UEOA.
Yeah,
But the
exactly.
problem is that they're gonna have to respect what we're trying to do because the whole point of the UEOA is to have allies in other Black countries. Is to establish a nation within a nation here.
Fact,
So when you have FBA, that was the lineage. That's saying all our blood and our ancestors' blood connects us to the work that was done here in America. That's why I say I'm not taking up for Tyreek Nasheed or nothing. But I sat there and listened to a lot of shows, and I'm like, you see the shows. You look on Lisa Cabrera. We go to the African braiding shops. We got Black people that can braid here just as well. But because when you use the name African, it's like they get more respect as a Black person, right? But they're treating us like shit. And so, basically, FBA is just a lineage, just saying, hey, we connected here on this land, and the UEOA is our nation because America doesn't want us as a nation. We are part of America, but we have our Black nation that we claim,
facts,
and they can be our allies. Because if I go over there, accept us over there, because these Democratic parties, all these other people, they're playing games with us. So until we start some diplomatic powers of our own and meet with African leaders, we can start talking to them people that do come over here. Like, hey, come over here and build with us. If you open up a Black braiding shop, respect the Black people that come into your place. Donate to some not Black organization. Get with the UEOA, get with us, and let's start building something together. Don't come over here and scam us and treat us like shit. Come over here and respect that we built this opportunity for you. The white man didn't give you the opportunity. We fought and bled for that opportunity, our grandparents.
facts,
So
facts.
it's just basically that's what the UEOA is, to build a bridge of understanding. But we're not going to take up for every African, just like we're not going to take up for every Jamaican, because I work with them all the time. They live in their own world and they treat us like strangers, and we're the only ones yelling brothers and sisters. They
Hey,
don't come over here and say brothers and sisters.
yeah, you got
If
it.
we're
Yeah,
going to feed the children, we can feed all the children, but Africa has everything.
yeah. Yeah, you gotta come correct on that one. Yeah, like I said, we gonna say brothers and sisters. Y'all gotta be embracing it too. You know what I'm saying? We gotta be on code together. If not, you know, yeah,
Mhm.
that's not gonna work. But yeah, yeah, we cook today.
I
Yeah,
know a lady, an older lady I work with. She, all her in the Catholic, she's a Black Catholic lady. Excuse me, I'm eating.
I'm
She would
good.
go over to Africa to help. She would go in different parts of Africa and meet Africans, and I watched them Go back and forth. Oh, here go Pablo.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
back,
Yeah, I
Pablo?
was talking back in, but I don't know what was going on. Yeah,
Let
I
me
was hearing it, but I couldn't respond. I was going to ask a question from the
Mm-hmm.
previous statements. What see, because we brought up Marcel and Tamara Shirley earlier,
Mm-hmm.
and that looks on the surface like most of us ain't serious about reparations. The fact that what happened to them under 8,000 votes. What would you say is the main obstacle in our house as far as us getting together? Why did we have to have an FBA versus ADOS war? Why do we have to have all these different factions? And basically, we basically shoot ourselves in the foot. And it's like I don't know because the
Because
voting record shows it.
listen, ADOS
Uh
stole
huh.
that from Norris Shelton. It was
Uh huh.
called DOS. It is a legal
Oh yeah, I remember
organization.
that.
you
ADOS
breaking up. You breaking up, Tina. You breaking up again.
and if you look it up, it's already a party on the books. All we got to do is use it. The difference with FBA is not no party or nothing. It's just establishing these are the people in America because not trying to be funny. Right now, Africa, as long as we keep saying we're from Africa, African leaders are now trying to take over the reparations fight. Yeah, all the world is from Africa, but we were here. They say that white people brung us here and populated a whole continent is ignorance. We were already here when when we spread it out from Africa. There's no way
Do you
white
think we can get back? Do you think we can necessarily get back to the momentum that we had when Yvette and Tone and Tariq were working together, and it seemed like the momentum was good. We
yes,
had policy and lineage all working together. Can we get back to that? Do you think?
yeah, I think we can get back, but we ain't gonna get back with a party because they're divided. This is why we have FBA as a lineage. That's not a party. It's not an organization. It's not a group. It's just saying your ancestors, your great grandparents built here. We can do DNA ancestry and we can always be traced back to Africa. FBA is saying we built this foundation. That's just like saying the construction worker put up the you got a construction worker. If you go to a construction site, the electricians put up the electricity, the construction, the carpenters, they build the frame, the plumbers put in the plumbing. All we're saying is that all of the construction that was built in America was built by the black people here. We built the foundation of America. That's all foundational all FBA is. Now,
Yeah,
what
no,
we
no,
go
no.
to,
What I'm saying is this, because like when I was in the ADOS, what Tariq says about lineage, Yvette and Tone were literally saying the same thing. They're saying this is not no party, no this or that. This is a lineage, and we're not the leader. Everything that he's saying, they were saying the same thing, and
well,
then it
he's
ended up.
lying because everything that they got DOS from, they stole it all from Norris Shelton, which is another party besides the Democratic Party. See,
Yeah,
you got your parties, and then you got ADOS, and you got either which way. DOS is ADOS, and you just erase the work that older black man. This black man that did this work, he's like almost 90 years old. He's like 85, 86, maybe 90 years old. That means he knows his grandparents and great grandparents and great grandparents, right?
yeah.
So he put it in a party that's there. So why don't um Yvette Carnell and all them stop stealing from other black people and go and get the original party that's on paperwork, that is on books. Let's study that. There's books out there. It's
Uh,
Norris Shelton, and let's pull up his work. I can go find him because he's married. I mean, he's my friend Nicole is married to his son. That's how I met him. He's wrote hundreds of books and the work is already done. There was no need for ADOS to come on the books. So either which way, go back to the original. We can work together and just label FBA is the lineage. ADOS is the other party. We don't have to vote Democrat and Republican. If we want to deal with the politics, then that's the party we go to. DOS is already established for us. Now, if we want to
you think it's a
connect
matter of sitting down and having
meetings,
set the ego aside talks and putting all this packaging all this together with all the
exactly.
miscommunication and understandings because that's what's frustrating. We have all the pieces that we need, but we just cannot seem to be able to sit down
Exactly.
and come. I mean that's why it's like I said, when I was in ADOS, I was rolling with all of them. I was rolling with Tariq and I was rolling with
But listen to
Yvette
what
and
you're
Tone.
saying. Let's stop putting individual people. Like you said, we do need to have the meeting. And that's what I keep saying, that the UEOA needs to have the meeting of the mind.
Uh,
UEOA is just establishing we're a micronation. Akibalon meant the Garden of Eden or Africa. We're all from Africa. You got Dane Holloway, when I had reached out to him, he was like, Akibalon don't mean this and that. Everybody is trying to pick apart everything.
yeah,
Let's go
that's
to
what I
the
was saying
beginning.
earlier. We
Yeah,
cannibalize
they
each other to the
don't.
point we can't move forward. That's the crazy part.
But that's the whole point of the micronation. The micronation is just like the United States. We just a whole bunch of black groups and organizations in the micronation. That's what UEOA is. Because in the United States, you got ADOS, DOS, Democrats, Republicans, Christians, Islamic. Are we not all in a mixing bowl? So you just take that on a black level, because we all trying to fight white supremacy worldwide, and you
Uh,
Exactly.
condense it to a micronation. Now we're our own black micronation that consists of Africans, this FBA, blah blah blah, and then that's why I want UEOA to bring everybody together, and let's have a meeting, because we're all saying the same thing. We're just in different areas. It's kind of like, first of all, in America, we need to establish, are we the foundation that built America? Are we the
yeah,
black? You can come from Africa all you want, but Africans don't need to be talking about this nonsense and stuff. We built the foundation. What's so hard with saying we the foundational black Americans? You can go home to Africa. We here. My grandparents are here. Your grandparents are buried here. None of
yeah,
my
that, yeah,
ancestors are buried in Africa.
all that overlooking the atrocities and what we had to go through to be
That's the
who we are and
point.
get to where we are today. And at the same point, because like all groups seem to have this in common, and sometimes even we do it to ourselves. How do the same people that go and cheerlead and give all kind of sympathy for the Jewish Holocaust or Trump taking Latino babies and sending them back home can have no compassion for us? The same groups, including ourselves, have zero compassion for us.
Because
It's
our
like
mind
our
ain't there.
suffering
This
doesn't
is the
matter.
whole, hold on, I'm sorry. This is the whole point of having the meetings. This is why we have to go live as UEOA and not Good Morning from Africatown, LA. We have to have separate conversations. This is, remember when we said Good Morning from Africatown is just so that we can talk about everything.
Yeah, it's like a morning show. Then we need to have
Yes,
actual
that's why we
sit
need to
down,
have.
serious meetings.
Exactly, and we need to start it as we invite people. Maybe we can start having meetings and invite Tyreek. Let's write out the game plan. Yeah, I'm cooking. Let's write out the game plan where we meet with people, because we got to tell them this. Tyreek, you got you got an audience. You done did something great with Hidden Colors. We need you. Just like Tyra Harker Bay. I had to unsubscribe from him because he started
Me too.
calling FBA stupid and this and that. Like, where's your ancestors from? Do I take it offensively because I need something to connect my grandparents who brain was fried in Masterfield because she wouldn't listen to him.
Shit,
Who my
he's even gone as
grandparents had to
far as to
run
say
many
that
a times.
he's even gone as far as to say that Claude Anderson is a grifter, that he's scamming the people. And I
Yes,
was
Oh
like,
I
all right,
seen
no,
now
that,
that's
and
it.
that's when
no, no, he can't do that now.
I just unfriended him because I'm like, you are
Yeah,
more. You wear a little red hat to describe who you are.
exactly.
FBA just say this is the blood that run through our veins. Because somehow we're all connected. Remember, in slavery, they had sex forms and they made our ancestors interact with each other, whether you was mother and son or father and
Facts.
daughter.
Yeah,
So the FBA is
and,
the
yeah, and they
lineage
gotta
that
take it.
connect all our blood here.
Yeah, they gotta take into account, like Bay. You gotta take that into account. The fact, let's take the sex farm. Now, Massa didn't care if you was native to this country and a black person. He didn't care if you came from Honduras or they brought you here from Africa. When they put you in that farm in that pit, you were supposed to mate with whoever they wanted to crossbreed you
Like
with.
a
It didn't matter
dog.
where you're from. Yeah, like a
Like a
dog, like an
dog.
animal. And that's something that we gotta take into
Exactly.
account. And that's even more the reason why we ourselves shouldn't be infighting amongst ourselves. I could not stand when they had the FBA and ADOS war because I said, look, we got two different branches
But
here.
that's what we here for, Pablo, is to bring it together. Let's just bring it
Yeah,
back together.
somebody got to do it, y'all. And we gonna do it, baby.
And because you're good, that's the whole point. Just like you got the Black Panthers, then you got the Huey P. Newton Gun Club, and then you
Yeah,
got
all
this
that.
and that. But we're all saying that we want all of them are setting up guns to defend each other, right?
And
So
then the behind the scenes, most of them don't get along with each other. I said the same thing with that. I said, why do we got all these freedom fighters, quote unquote, and everybody's fighting against each other? Everybody want to be the face of this and want to be all these egos. And I said, we're gonna have to stop this at a certain point, because at this point, white supremacy don't gotta do nothing but sit back and watch this just
But
cannibalize
that
each
was the
other.
plan of white supremacy. That's all they wanted to do was sit back and watch us kill ourselves. But I think we got a little bit of understanding. Now that we understand, that's why I said as our job as UEOA is to be the umbrella that encapsulates everybody. Some black people still agree with what FBA is, but they say they don't call themselves as FBA. I think I heard Lisa Cabrera say that. She
Yeah,
agrees
that's
with
how
it
it's been out here. It's like a lot of people are like, we with it,
because
we
they're looking
identify
at
with
what
it, but we don't
Tyreek
like.
is.
Yeah, they don't like the stuff he does with disparaging people, including his own people, his own FBA people. So they're like, yeah, we like the idea. So I think it's like maybe like even with
Bringing down the
ADOS
newness
in
to
and of itself,
everything.
even though they stole the thing, it wasn't a bad concept. I think when we get egotistical people at the top and we put them on a pedestal, that's one of the things that we gotta stop doing is anointing people to be at the top when the people's best interest
Let
is
me
not
tell you
their best
something. Like
interest.
it's like this, Pablo. You got a lot of preachers that ain't did no good. You got preachers that are
Yep.
great little children, but yet do they stop them from going? Do they stop the congregation from going to church? The church is the
Nope.
church. The religion is the religion. So
They said
what we got to
hallelujah.
do is stop associating people to the brand. Yeah, Tariq Nasheed is him, but that doesn't
Yeah,
make him not
I,
a FBA. That
yeah, I
doesn't
would say
make
Yeah.
this
you
though.
not a FBA.
What I don't like what Tariq do, he kind of feeling himself. He said this a couple of times recently. You acting like you can't put yourself up there with Malcolm and Martin, bro. Like stop saying that. He seemed like he's more of he's a threat to the government. I don't see him a threat to the
But let me
government, but I
tell you what we're doing
respect.
right now. Let's stop us right now. Let's stop talking about Tyreek. That's what
Yeah,
Tyreek is doing. We're talking about FBA, and that's the problem. We get sidetracked.
yeah. But I'm saying like, don't put yourself don't try to put yourself as
And
like
he
a
can put
god
himself
body.
on a pedestal. That doesn't got. If Tyreek died tomorrow, FBA still means what it means,
Yeah.
and that's what we got to tell the people.
You
That's the message we got to give. Like we got to separate.
think
Like
they want to
ADOS. My
buy?
problem with My only problem with ADOS is that there is DOS out there already. ADOS has been around all this time, whether when Tariq and them was together, everybody was there. Did they go and file the proper paperwork to make it another party? Because DOS is another political party that we can bring back up and vote if they want to run, if somebody wants to run for president. That's the difference.
Yeah, you got in Cobra, like you said, it's too many names. We got too many
Like
cheap.
let's sit down as UEOA and those that want to be with UEOA, and let's go and hey, let's bring up DOS. I don't let's look at it as the political party. Let's reach out to Norris Shelton. Let's reach out to the original, and hey, that's the party. So those that want to vote, you don't have to vote Democrat. For those that are into politics, here, let's go DOS. That's on the books. If ADOS doesn't have a political party, if they're not nowhere, you can say ADOS. Just join and vote DOS, and let's start appointing people in that political party. Let's build that political party that's already on the books. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. So
Now, ADOS and everybody else could stay the same. We ain't gotta like Tariq Nasheed, but can we agree that our ancestors built the foundation? So basically, we have to just get to the point where we agree to disagree. We
oh yeah,
don't
yeah.
like how Tariq does a lot of stuff, and I don't like the way a lot of Africans treat us, but it doesn't mean that we can't do businesses with Africa, and it doesn't mean that we cannot respect the FBA, even though Tyreek is the one who made it. Because if you take Tyreek out the picture and say Martin Luther King called us FBAs, it'll still mean the same. You right?
Yep. And I would say this about Raven Simone, even though I don't agree with her, her ideology when it comes to LGBTQ, but she was right. She said the same thing. She said, no disrespect to the brothers and sisters in Africa. Like, I've never been to Africa, and so I'm not an African American, I'm a Black American. They are African American. So everybody agreed with that on the comments. I seen but she was getting an interview, and she's been saying for a while. So I do respect that about her, respecting your lineage. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, even with some celebrities coming out more,
Yes, because they
even
calling us
Floyd.
African. They calling us
Yeah,
African American. Do you know there's so many white people All the
Yeah.
white people Trump let in, guess
Elon
who they
Musk is
are?
one.
African Americans.
Elon Musk, Charlene Dare, and all of them. Like he said, we even if Mayweather said, "No, I'm Black American." No disrespect to the brothers and sisters in Africa, but it's nothing bad to say. See, Umar would break the differ though. He's just all over the place, but that's a whole.
Yeah, Umar don't know what he want to do.
Yeah, he want to be a damn Martian.
He don't know. It's sad. He don't know what he want to do. But
he had a Haitian flag on one day, a Ghana flag on one day. I'm like, and he have a Philly hat on.
Yeah, we just have to have a meeting of the minds, and let's. That's why I said we have to have our chancellor meetings as UEOA. And put that on the website for people to see, and let's just break down the concepts and what we're standing for. As UEOA, we want to bring the umbrella in to tell every Black group the work you put in is noticeable. The work you put in, ADOS, DOS is good. How can we combine these groups together? Because you got Huey P. Newton Gun Club, you got the Black Panthers, the original Black. How can we come together and make one army? Okay, you got this ADOS, DOS. How can we come together and make another party so we don't have to be called the Green Party or independent? You know, so we all come together. That's what we have to focus on in UEOA is what we stand for. We stand for the umbrella, the bridge for our brothers and sisters.
Exactly, and they say we want to be a block. We can be a part of it, even though we don't have money like the other party. We can be a block because see, we know Democrats need Black people vote, but then it's gonna be something ones. So we just vote as a block. That's power right now. Remember, power is influence.
ADOS, FBA. If you call yourself FBA, if you don't call yourself FBA, if we come all together, then we'll all be together. And like you say, we are one block.
Yeah.
And let's do this. Let's stand for something, because long as we unorganized, that's what the enemy comes in at. Then when we got Africans coming in and understanding what they coming into, let's educate them. They get an education through the United States when they come to be a citizen. So let's give them our pamphlets.
Exactly. You a little choppy, Tina. You a little choppy, but I can hear you a little bit. You went out in the matrix. But yeah, until she get back on, yeah, she's right. They really have, we have certain guidelines like this is what we expect from y'all. Y'all come here to the country. This is what we doing as FBA or freedmen. You know what I'm saying? This is what we are trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Don't just come and because you got melanin and saying you Black, you just jump on. Try to jump come into our world without understanding what we all about. You know what I'm saying? It's a code of conduct. You gotta have a code of conduct. You have a code of conduct, we're gonna be all over the place. And that's what it's looking like right now. We all over the place. We recognize our lineage, but we all over the place, and we can't be doing that. We gotta have a code of conduct. That's just the way it is. Like Clay Anderson set the blueprint. We gotta follow that powernomics, you know what I'm saying? I was gonna say Pablo, but get out of here in a minute.
Oh yeah, I was tapping back in. Yeah, I think ultimately this is the one thing that I think is the backbone of our problem is these other groups, African, whatever the case may be, they have the ability to stick together based on having a country, which is why they don't want us to have anything anywhere near a country, because that's the one ingredient that we're missing from these other groups is it's easy to incentivize us to cannibalize ourselves because we don't have that structure about us. And when they see that's why they're pouncing on the FBA thing, because they see it as finally a structure is being bought up, and they don't like it because they know once we get that structure, they can't do the things they've been doing, because that structure will tell you, all right, if our backs are the backs that everybody steps on from the Democrat Party to advance their own groups and causes, we pulling the plug on it. That's why they don't want us to do that. So I think once we get to the point.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, solid.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think once we get to the point that we recognize that, because a lot of us just don't want to see that, or we just don't understand it, or we can't. And I think once we get to the point that we can do that, I mean, same as the Haitian Revolution. We have, unfortunately, and us foundationals, freedmen, whatever name you use, we have this thing to where we have a problem with cutting people off and leaving our own behind. And unfortunately, we're going to have to process the
Leave them
reality that all
behind.
kinfolk ain't kinfolk, and leave them behind and move forward. If a Negro wants to continue, like for example, if you, I put this picture on Instagram before, went through the Nixon Garden projects, and all you saw was cheerleading posters for Maxine Waters, somebody who is guaranteed that the black people in there are either going to be pushed out into homelessness or they're going to live in those projects until they pass away and pass that same poverty down to the next generation. If
Exactly.
you think that that's great and you want to continue voting for that and being under that structure, then we're going to have to cut you off. That's as simple as that. I mean, it don't mean you
And
a bad
that's
person.
exactly,
Hey,
Pablo. And that's why we need to have our meeting of the minds. I don't know if you heard that part, so that we can gather and
Yeah.
add to the education that you have. We need to write that UEA book and breaking it down, and then put inviting everybody to the table that will listen. That hey, we got to put the fighting to the side. Because I even listened to Michi X and Tyree. They both stand for the same thing. Most of all of us stand for the same thing. We just not organized. And like you said, we don't have a country. That's why everybody takes advantage, but we do have UEOA, and that was the whole point of UEOA, is so that we can have our own country here and invite other people to our countries as allies, ambassadors, etc. It's just digital because we don't have a land.
Yeah. So I mean, like for example, and this is not to keep bringing Reek up. Like when Reek went against Brandon, I know y'all know who he is. I forgot what the name of his channel is that quick, but Brandon, he has a YouTube channel. Him and Reek have gotten into it. He's the one that the Bucci Bear cartoon is made off of. If we don't have a code of conduct to where we say, hey man, that's another brother, your own people. We don't need to go as far as the Bucci Bear thing.
Well,
Have
he
y'all
was
fun,
saying
do what
stuff
y'all
about
do.
FBA too, calling us
Oh yeah,
stupid and
they
stuff.
go back and forth. I was gonna
Yeah,
say him too. When you get two individuals doing that to the point that it's causing division amongst the actual people on the ground, then that's beyond entertainment.
and
And
that's
then we
the
got to
letters
have
that
some
we need to
protocol to deal with
read.
them.
That's the letters that we need to make. That's why we have to have a meeting as chancellors and anybody else that want to join the UEOA and explaining what we stand for, what we are here for, and what we're doing. And we reach out to the leaders. It's kind of like they used to call the church when you have a problem. No, it's time to call us for the black leadership. And as we gain and grow and understand that we are setting the code. They say black people are off code. We are setting the new code for black people. I know that we on
Exactly,
here.
exactly. So if you know us, y'all hearing this and you know us, we are like our nation already has a code of ethics and a code of conduct and
Mhm.
whatnot. And it's like I know we as a people here in this country, we reject structure. I mean, even in the gang world, we losing in the gang world because we don't have a structure. That's why like MA is able to do what they do and they pushing us out of our neighborhoods here in the streets of California in a lot of areas because we don't have structure. And I remember as a kid, I used to ask, well, who's the leader of this? We don't have a leader. We all just do what we want to do, but you have to answer here and there for certain things to the OGs. That's not structure. And that's what we used to operating under because I think in our psyche and our PTSD, we see structure as oppression from the white man. And it's like, we're going to have to get over that hump and we're going to have to get organized and structured. There ain't no way around it. We can't, our
Exactly.
numbers are going so into the red, we can no longer play these games. I mean, hey, if you let's say if you a black Democrat and if you hear a black woman coming out to you telling you that rainbow sex is great, abortion is healthcare and things like that, you have to have the brain and the structure to realize that is anti-black right there. That is anti-foundational black American. That is anti-freedom right there. You are telling us to decrease our population on behalf of the white man. You got to go. If you hear
Exactly.
a
And
white
like
a
you
white
say,
wing
structure.
conservative, yeah, if you hear a right wing conservative black Christian coming out telling you, oh, you got to smile a little more, you got to tap dance your boots, you got to do this aggressive form of capitalism and sacrifice whoever you can in the black community, you got to go.
yep, that's the rule. Yeah, that's code of conduct. Yeah, so that's how. Yeah, that's as simple as that.
Yes. And then we got to remember, like you say, structure. I run my business, and a lot of people think when you run a business, I have to tell black people all the time that I hire. You still got to come on time. Everybody still has to answer to somebody. If you at
Yeah.
home, you got to answer to your parents. We have to have structure. And Pablo nailed it on the head, put the nail on the head, that a lot of black people associate structure to white supremacy. That's not it. We have to understand we had structure before white supremacy took over. They just abused us with structure. We are the ones that invented structure. You can't have a house. You can't build a house and everybody's hammering and nailing their own part.
And I will say, outside of the comedy and all that stuff, because we asked earlier, how was FBA on the ground here in California, where Tariq is actually at? That has been the main thing right there. A lot of people are saying he's not the leader, and there ain't no structure. We want this lineage, but we don't have no structure. And now people are starting to branch out and starting to break it. Already starting to break into little groups under that umbrella, under that lineage.
Well,
And
that's
it's
what we're
like,
here for. We don't even
yeah,
need to
come on
let's
over,
no.
baby. Come on
Yeah,
over, baby. We got you.
let's figure out the problem and let's fix the problem. Just like ADOS and DOS. ADOS, you yelling it, but it's not on the books. We can't vote ADOS as a party, but we can vote DOS. So let's gather that together, the political people. The Black Panthers, the OG Black Panthers, all these military groups, let's gather them together. Now we have our military. Let's just take our groups and organize them together. It's just like you have a file folder. This is for administration. This is for this and that. And we take this file folder and we organize everybody in that file cabinet. And that's what we have to do. I got to get out of here, y'all, because
Oh
I'm
yeah. We've been here for a minute, but we were cooking, y'all. So we'll
Yeah.
be on the next one. We're gonna talk. I think we're gonna talk about
yeah, we'll come with another one, Pablo. You
yeah.
got to come, especially you and D Mays, because we women here, but
Oh yeah, we
and y'all
got y'all.
all represent something. And if they don't see strong back men doing something, nobody's gonna take us serious.
Exactly. Maybe
Well,
one
with
day
that
we'll
that
make
being
the
said,
people come back.
let's close it on that note. I'll leave y'all with this I'll land my plane on this and leave y'all with this. You've been taught, you've been raised. Every other group around the world is telling you that you are incapable of self-governance. You are not capable of holding up your own structure. That's fear. That's cowardice in a lot of ways. That's fear and cowardice. We no longer have time for fear and cowardice. It's time for bold, precise, structured action, blacktion. I'll call it blacktion is what it's time for. No more games, no more running, no more being gypsies and moving all over the country every time everything this community fall apart that we built, we go run to build up another one. No more. It's time to put our foot down, stand firm, have this meeting of the minds, put our egos aside, and do what it is we know we need to do if we want to survive. This is flat. This is a matter of survival now, ladies and gentlemen. That's what this is. And if you want to survive, and don't want to see your grandchildren and children being oppressed or the slaves of another group again, then you already know what it is. Tap in.
Boom. And that being said, y'all, we're gonna see y'all in the next one. Peace.
Peace.
Good, good.